Jason here. I'm responding to Colin's. I looked into that over the weekend about coming in when you're submitting an offer, about letting the other agent know that you have wiggle room or whatnot. And I want to clarify, because I think there's some confusion here, because I'm 100% sticking with what I said in the course. If you submit an offer and you know that your client has some room, and let's say, for example, the house is listed at 400,000 and you know your client can go up to 425, 430 comfortably, but they want to start somewhere, and you call the listing agent or you submit an offer at 400,000 and you don't mention to the listing agent that, hey, look, here's the deal. I may have a little bit of room on this thing. I'm trying to get this done, but this is pretty close to the rock bottom of where they want to submit. Giving them an indication though to give me a counter. Because if you submit an offer and you're like, no, we're firm here, we're firm there, you're losing deals every day. And there's no question about it. There's nothing to even talk about with that. You need to work with the listing agent and say, look, here's the deal. Because the worst scenario is your client doesn't get the home because you were too tough on the front end offer submission. And that can happen. You need to work with listing agents and say, look, here's the deal. This is where we're at. I may have some room. I may not. I'm not sure. Talk to your client. Get me a counter if this isn't suitable for them so I can work it on my side of things. You need to let the other agents know if you're working with something to where, hey, let's put a deal together. I may have some room here. If you don't do that, you're making a massive mistake. Now, if it is rock bottom, if this is the final number they want to be at, let them know that. That's great. But if you're going to the negotiating table and trying to rule with an iron fist on, well, there's my offer, you tell me what you want to do, you're losing deals. You submit an offer and you work with the listing agent and you say, look, let's work together on this. You're listed at 450, we're at 400. Where do you think your seller will go to? I think they might go to 335, 340. Okay, I think my clients might be able to go to 420, 425. Let's bridge that gap. Let's work together. Sometimes you do it over one counter. Sometimes it takes 3 or 4. But if you're not making that listing agent aware, because like I said, if you know your buyers would go to 430, you're doing them a disservice by trying to play tough guy or tough girl by submitting at that 400 because that's where they wanted to start out with and not wanting to get a counter offer to try to get a deal done. That's the worst thing that happens because then they don't get the home. Whereas if they would have taken the home at 420, 430 and you're going to the listing agent saying, look, this is about where they want to be, but I may have a little juice to play with here. Let me know what your seller thinks and let's try to get a deal done. That's what I'm talking about. You can never just, on every deal you submit, go to the negotiating table thinking like, hey, well, that's the offer I gave you. You tell me what you want to do. That's terrible. Can't do it. It's, hey, let's work together here. I may have a little room on this thing. Let's work together and try to get this done. That's how you get deals done.